Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead, back in the kitchen. Today I want to look at puddings, or a pudding. Not covered any puddings, I don't think, up to now. So I want to look at something called Uzputenis or Debesmanna. It is a very, very simple pudding, incredibly tasty though. As you can see, it's just 3 ingredients, although you might want to serve it with other things as well. But to make it, you only need these 3 ingredients. And the core ingredient to Debesmanna, manna, is Latvian for Semolina, and so the main ingredient is Semolina. Now, I know for those of you who are friends back in the UK, that may fill you with horror. I know my parents, my mum has horror stories, and I think my dad, when he was around, shared them as well. But from school, they were served Semolina pudding all the time and got completely fed up with it and never wanted to eat it again. And but I don't know whether it was similar to this or not. But this, essentially we make a Semolina porridge, mix it with fruit and add sugar to sweeten it. Now we've got here some raspberries that have been preserved from summer. I don't know if you can certainly see the vividness of the red, and they've been sieved as well, so there's no seeds in there. So is that called a coulis in English? I'm not sure. But you can use jam, you can use, freshly whisked up fruit. It's kind of a summer. I know we preserve a lot of stuff here, and we've got, so we can cool on at any time, but traditionally a summer pudding, because you would take summer fruits, whisk them up and put them into the Semolina. And what we're going to do is make a Semolina porridge, add the fruit, like I said, and then let it cool down, and then we'll whisk it up so it's full of air. And that's where it gets this name Debesmanna from, because Debes is kind of sky or heaven, so it's kind of heavenly Semolina. And also it's called Uzputenis, and I was asking around and there didn't seem to be any real difference between the 2 names. It's just depending on what you know it as. But let's stop the talking, let's get on and we'll make it. Gita's going to show us how to make it, because I'm not really sure, I just enjoy eating it. And then we'll show you how to serve it at the end of the video. So stick around to the end, but here's coming up the method to how to make this great pudding.
Yeah, 200. Soon it's gonna boil, so I'm just gonna add Semolina. You just need to make sure there are no any blobs, but if there are, you don't need to worry about it, because, like I said before, you're gonna go over with a mixer to fluff it up, so it will feel quite thin. I won't boil now a lot, I just need to slightly bring to boil, and then we just switch it off and let it cool. It will thicken up. If you accidentally do too thick and you think, well, what do I do now? You can add water. I just think of kind of custard consistency you need. You don't overboil, because you don't want it to get, otherwise it gets like a little bit like a gluey look. So at the moment this is all fine. I'll just cool and then we fluff it up, with the mixer. You can, when it cools down, you can whisk it up all with a hand whisk, but I never have a patience for it. If there are gadgets, use them.
Okay, so that's the Debesmanna, which is now set overnight. You could have done it in the evening, but we just thought we'd leave it till today. And we were talking yesterday, and Gita said that, correct me if I'm wrong, it needs to be a bit sweeter and a bit stronger tasting than you want it at the end, because we're going to pump it full of air, and that will spread the flavour profile about. So always make it sweeter and stronger tasting with the fruit than what you actually want it. And you can see it's really set like a jelly now. But once we pump this full of air, whisk it up and full of air, it's going to completely transform this into this amazing pudding.
Because we made it in a small pot, I always fill all up. Like I said, you can whisk with a hand, but it's quite tiring. Now it's still quite dark color, dark pink, but when you're gonna whisk it up, it's gonna be very light color. So that's how you tell, is it whisked up enough? You can tell, is it whisked up enough? So the lighter it is, the more air it's in it, and I think the tastier it is. And you can make from any fruit in the summer. You can make even from rhubarb. Our family, like in the summertime, at least once a year make in the summer from fresh rhubarb. And we actually leave for a while and let it do its job. Stop for a moment, because here you can tell the color difference. Here is still darker, here is lighter. Sometimes I just stop, scoop everything down. You can see it's a different color. Here is still darker one. And then let it go and mix again. If you want to make yourself, I'll have another go for a few minutes and. You want a lighter color, that's the main thing. I think it sounds finished.
So it's finished now, ready to eat. We can eat it, can we?
Yeah, but I want to say to people, you can do that. We leave it in this pot. We have a proper lid for it. We leave it in this pot. Because some people, maybe they have a fridge. So it's going to set anyway nice and airy. So as soon as you finish, you move it in another pot because you keep it in a cold place, then it lasts longer.
Okay.
Yeah? We leave it in this and we'll put it in a larder. Yeah? You do that. But it is ready to eat, yeah.